Who's ready? It's time to go back to work. Come on, let's go back to work. Let's go, Rex. Yeah. And see Mitt. Does Mitt want to go back to work too? Back to work Monday. Down the stairs. Steve will be right there. Is he gonna come right there? Or is he gonna come right there? Let's go. Yeah. Back to work. It's not a toy. It's not a toy. A cat on a string. It's hard to put the cat on a string when a cat wants to play with a string. It's not a play day. It's a work day. That's more like it. And you call this work, Tim? Well, I don't have to punch a clock, but yeah, it's kind of like work. Reporting for duty every single day, 365 days a year. At least I come whatever time I want, and the time happens to be 7:53 on Monday, August 11. And the heat wave in New England today enters day 2. Here at the shore, yesterday we fell short of 90, but the wind is going to come in from the west-southwest more today. So we'll probably get to 90 or better in Boston. Now, look at this. All right, there's the temperature, 71 degrees. What is that critter in there? And how do you get it out? You still alive? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I'm going to figure out. I guess I'll get you out of there. Don't you worry about a thing. Somewhat smoky. I'm wearing my noise-canceling microphone because there's a lot of noise happening here at the Weymouth Big Dig. Back right where they started several months ago, probably about, 7 or 8 months. The first hole dug along the Big Dig was right there. They dug it and started the revetment right there. Everything always needs tweaking, doesn't it? Tweaking the revetment. And the end more today, in about 12 minutes, hopefully I can do it that fast, we're going to see what it looked like from the water yesterday going on a tour of the Gulf of Weymouth, and it's very impressive. So you got the excavation team over there, and then you got the rebar and the mass concrete team over there. We break for people of dexterity. Did you say Dex? Oh yes, we've got some content providers this morning. Max Dex. As the sun was approaching the horizon before it came up this morning, he says there was a conjunction of 2 planets, Jupiter and Venus. Very impressive. Well, as impressive as any photo I would be able to take. Thank you, Max Dex, for sharing. And while we're doing skylights, how about where the sun was last evening before 8 p.m. right there? Mrs. Surf Ski got that image of the sun going down over Germantown over Quincy last evening. So some fun skylights and also some highlights from yesterday as I was sitting in traffic trying to get off Cape Cod. T-Rex, the dog, and Sterling were hiking up Gondolier and encountered 1, 2, 3 baby bears and 1 mama bear, and decided we'll give them some space. And they also decided it was a little too warm and a little too smoky, so the hike was called short. But thank you, Sterling, for sharing that. Looking at this plane ticking off toward the east, I think that's going to change. Can you see it? Yep, there it is. I think the planes are going to start taking off towards the south and west as we have a wind shift that's going to happen. This morning, I'm not going to show it, but the weather roundup, it was still pretty comfortable. Dew points were still in the 50s in parts of New England, and the temperature did get down in the 60s last night. So when you have these heat waves and the air is not too humid, it's more tolerable, especially at night. When I turned the air conditioning on last night, the temperature inside the house was 85, and so we got it down into the 70s. But we are in a heat wave, and it's day 2 of the 5th heat wave, and it still looks like it's going to be about 5-day heat wave for a place like Manchester, New Hampshire. Here's the 10-day. No, actually, I'm going to show the 14-day, the one with the wave, the easy one to read. It starts with tomorrow in the mid-90s, goes to Wednesday, mid-90s. Now it's calling the heat wave an end on Wednesday, so that would be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Only a 4-day heat wave, but I think in parts of New England it is going to end up being day 5 on Thursday. There's a thunderstorm threat, and then there is a dip. The wave dips cooler into the 80s. The dew point's going to come up, so it's going to be more humid at that point.
And then there's another wave back up. By Sunday, we're back into the lower 90s. So as I've been saying, this front coming in on Thursday, Friday, dents the heat, but it does not eradicate it. There's a chance that the heat does get eradicated around days 12 and 13 out there, as we'll be watching a hurricane go by out over the ocean. At least that's the plan. And incidentally, the numbers on here, the blue numbers, are indicative of the dew point. So, and also the shading. The wider the shade on the red and the blue, the more uncertainty there is. So there is some uncertainty as to how warm it's going to be, especially out there in a week, next Tuesday and Wednesday, as the hurricane goes by. So should we shift gears to the National Hurricane Center, or maybe look at the really wide satellite image of the Atlantic Ocean stretching from New England, where there is marginal smoke, and a couple of systems stalled out there, south of Nova Scotia and one east of Bermuda. Those were a couple of systems we thought maybe would be the E and the F storm, but no, now it looks like the F storm is going to have to wait, and we're just going to have the E storm, and that would be this little wave coming off Africa. But note the motion and all that Saharan air layer with the dust and the dry air there over the central Atlantic. Maybe that's one of the reasons that that other one in the central Atlantic did not develop and is not expected to. But this one coming off Africa is almost certainly going to turn into a tropical cyclone, probably named Erin, and that's moving more north than west off the coast of Africa. So the higher that gets in latitude coming across the Atlantic, the less likely it is going to have any impact on any land mass other than very large waves. Of course, shipping interests have to keep a watch on that. It's going to be a storm that runs from the south central Atlantic to probably recurving south of New England and staying out over the ocean, maybe making impact somewhere up around the United Kingdom or something like that in 2 or 3 weeks. So this could be very interesting. And I guess we can get right to that. Why not? Well, maybe I should show the lower 48. The advisories, watches, and warnings for today. Extreme heat warnings, in effect, kind of spotted in the west, almost from the coast of the Pacific up to the border with Canada and south to the border with Mexico. And so that heat is coming across the country. And as it comes through, it's making heavy weather in the form of severe weather over the Central Plains and some flooding in there. And we have heat advisories in the Northeast, kind of curious, mostly in the Champlain Valley and in Maine and New Hampshire, because it's going to be a little bit hotter there than in southern New England. But because the dew point is low enough, I think that's why we don't have a heat advisory in the Boston area, even though it is about 93 degrees today. And then if I show the national map, the surface analysis from 8 o'clock this morning, you can see that big high right here in the Northeast. It's been responsible for, well, it's the second one we've had in 2 weeks, responsible for this nice weather. The first 9 days of August, by the way, I looked it up in Manchester, New Hampshire, were the 4th coolest on record since records began in the 1940s. So yeah, it was a very cool start to August. And the front that came through here at the beginning of August is still stalled way down there over the southeastern United States, where today in Atlanta, Georgia, there may be a shower and a thunderstorm, and the high temperature is going to be 83 degrees. I was looking at that because the temperature in Caribou, Maine today is going to be 93 degrees. And then I looked up some of the records to see if we're getting record heat here in the Northeast. And I think the records are pretty impressive. I know they are because I looked at them. They're in the mid 90s to upper 90s. And as a matter of fact, I looked at Burlington, Vermont, and the record for Burlington, Vermont today is 101 degrees on August 11th, 1944. Wow, that's an old one. So 81 years ago, hottest day on record, not only for the 11th, but in Burlington, Vermont's record keeping. Today is the anniversary of the hottest day on record in modern history there in Burlington, Vermont. And it's only going to be about 93 or 4. So that'll be day 2 of a heat wave, but it is not record warm. The records are very impressive. So it's just a hot week of weather. We break for power tools. You try and pick up a 5-ton boulder. It's not that easy. What are you going to do with it? We're going to sit it there for a moment. We're going to roll it around, and we're going to keep doing the weather forecast. And let's go to the Euro now. I don't know. I always forget something. The Euro is the model of choice. A couple of runs in a row, 3 or 4 days ago, it did have a hurricane threat for us, but it was beyond day 10. And now we get closer to that hurricane threat and see it's not as much of a threat. So let's roll the Euro. Our high pressure system here in the northeast, all those rains with the stalled front off to our south. Oh, timeout, Tim. I knew I forgot something. I forgot to show the surf cams. T-Rex, you want to go surfing? So the surf cams, the best one is Cinnamon Rainbows. Let's show that second. I love the Beachcomber webcam, and you can see the lines there. Definitely surf is up on the Cape Cod National Seashore, but it's all dewy and there's some spider webs hanging in there. And I also like the Warm Winds cam, but the sun glare is hard to see. But look at all that. Was that a surf camp Narragansett Town Beach this morning? Nice ground swell. So it's about a 3-foot ground swell. And now I'll go to the favorite cam because it's the clearest and it's just gorgeous and it's streaming. CinnamonRainbows.com cam at Hampton Beach. And several people out there, stand-up paddler out there. And it's just a nice, clean ground swell. And this has to do with the system that we thought maybe would be Tropical Cyclone Erin. It's not. And another one that was maybe going to be Tropical Cyclone Erin, and it's not. But they're both stalled in a favorable position south of Nova Scotia to generate that ground swell coming toward New England. Thanks to this stalled high pressure system as we now join the Euro, already in progress with our Wednesday. Still weather off to our south. The 576 thickness is here. The wind is from the west-southwest. This is probably the hottest of the week, Wednesday. The front comes in Wednesday night, Thursday. It still looks like a fairly nice change in air mass for central and northern New England without too many showers and thunderstorms. High pressure coming into southeastern Canada and an upper level cool pool going to move through very quickly. And so by Saturday, we're already getting that high to build off to our south again, and the 570 and 576 thickness are coming back at us. There may be some warm front shower or thunderstorm activity, but then we're on the hot side of the front again Sunday. And then here comes another front on Monday. And now we see the tropical storm or cyclone coming at us from the south and cooler air coming in from southeastern Canada. And that cooler air from southeastern Canada, so many people have been asking, how come it's been so comfortable and cool this summer? Well, these cool high pressure systems, but we've also had 4 or 5 heat waves. Anyhow, that is day 10 now, is Wednesday, August 20th, the day after the anniversary of Hurricane Bob from 1991, and that storm is looking like a powerhouse. What's in the 956? Hurricane Erin is likely the name, and it's several hundred miles to the east of North Carolina and several hundred miles to the south of Nantucket. Both these locations would be getting a massive ground swell, some of the biggest, most powerful waves that we've had in years if this works out. It's a slow-moving storm at this point, and we have a front right over New England, and it looks like we'll have an onshore flow. So that's going to be a spectacle. And the storm would keep on moving slowly to the north and then curve out to the east. You can tell by the orientation of those red lines, the thickness lines with the 570 and the 564 kind of sloped from northwest to southeast. That is representative of the upper level flow coming from central Canada into New England, which would push any storms or fronts offshore here with nice mid-August or late August at this point, August 20th, weather for New England. We're done. We're done with the weather forecast, T-Rex. How'd it smell? Yesterday, not in a hurry, Sunday, was very frustrating. In the morning, I get the job done and got on the road. And how fast do you have to get on the road on Cape Cod on a Sunday morning to beat the traffic to the Cape Cod Canal? I even pulled the tricks of getting off on the service road in 6A. All the frustration was mounting. Everyone that has to travel on a Sunday when they have to work every other day, I can see the frustration. I kind of joined in the frustration. Even in Norwell on Route 3A or 53, whatever that was, 53, it was all backed up and we were all frustrated. But we finally got home just about noon in time to go boating with Doug on Jetstream and have a sunset here in the backyard. So yeah, back to work day, and I know our audience gets a little restless when we don't have the Steve and the T-Rex included. So spending a little extra time with you, Steve, looking so handsome. His coat is coming in nicely, and oh yes, the tomatoes. I'm starting to get red tomatoes, and we should have quite a few of them. And I'll just say a word or two about the tomatoes before we go to the end more completely. How difficult it is. I spent an hour. You'd never know that I spent an hour just tying up 2 more stalks here. The sunlight is not exactly right. And there's a bunch more that I just can't get to the bottom of. And then I have that whole layer in there. So they're looking good. Hopefully the critters stay away. And the runt of the litter, I did that repair last week. You saw. I gave it another little support here. So this was the one least likely to survive and thrive. So we'll see how that goes. Now, I haven't seen any deer this year, but the deer will have no problem decimating this in a minute if they want when they get here. So I'm gonna go get some Irish Spring soap, and I'm gonna hang Irish Spring soap from the nails up there. Happy little sunflower, one sunflower, a random sunflower. I should show the neighbor's sunflowers. Maybe I'll go for a walk and do that. But for now, I guess that's the wrap. And we are gonna transition to the and more. Maybe I'll have to do a time lapse of some of this action going on down here. Luciano, you are a precision excavator operator. So fun watching you. All right. Back to work Monday. Everyone's working. We're hitting the road though, I think. Surf doesn't count as work, does it? All right. And more from yesterday, kind of in a hurry Sunday. And more, 9 a.m. There's already back up at the bridge. So I'm trying to get out. But we've got a red-tailed hawk and an osprey both circling around one another. Just a little different for me. Of course, we can't focus. We can't see the tail because the red part's up top. But there's the hawk. And there's the osprey. Way up there is something else. iPhone unable to capture. But the southwest wind is back, so maybe it is going to be 90 degrees on Cape Cod, at least the north side. But we've got to get to the bridge, and Cod's still kind of pointing toward the east. As we all know, air swirls. Bass River, 10 a.m. There's a lot of people trying to escape the Cape. How early do you have to get up on a Sunday? Is everyone going boating on Boston Harbor today? And we're stopped before 149. Oh my goodness. I think 6A may be the way. I'm still going for it, even with Darius, hey, on the bicycle. Yeah. Riding a bike along the beach. Oh, there's a big, huge family of geese out there. Up the hill! Up the hill! Let's go! The level of stress on the highway is so high. I have many days where I don't have to do anything, but if you have only one day on Sunday and you have to want to do something and you spend hours in traffic, I get it. Frustration. Oh man, that's why I try not to have a plan on a Sunday, but I had to spend some time with brother yesterday and family and friends. And there's Sandy. Yay. Weeding takes the stress right away, doesn't it? Guess where? We're headed... Those letters are backwards. That's kind of embarrassing. We're in the decompression zone, I guess I should say. We're decompressing, leaving the autos behind. Gonna go chase boats and birds now. I don't even care if we leave the dock. We're there.
I was like, I mean, I'm pretty good. I said you want some wine, but maybe that's what I
Those things are those mats that the kids can play on. One of the best inventions ever. That's so fun. All right, come on, Osprey, do your thing. We're rolling. We're here in the Great Gulf of Weymouth. Near the Great Wall of Weymouth. And the Big Dig. On this just gorgeous Sunday. 6th nice weekend in a row in New England. You know that tower, right? We're at another Memories Made Here location. From one to another. Oh, and of course we have a laughing gull. Oh, maybe that's not a laughing gull, is it? Oh, and an osprey. Come on, catch something, will you? Here in the Great Gulf of Weymouth, looking up there at the neighbors. And the Big Dig. And West Augusta. And the Great Blue Hill. Rock the boat, baby. Don't tip the boat over. Don't rock the boat. A little wake in here. Hey, it's a no wake zone. Anybody recognize what's going on over here? Cumulus. There's a little, maybe a sea breeze front. It's pretty interesting. The air is coming from the east right here. And I think it's 90 degrees inland. It's just gorgeous. The 80s here at the beach, even with an onshore flow. Warmest water of the season. Roger that. T-Rex. I'm not gonna tease him. The Kent Estates. And it's Captain Kent at the wheel in there. So, out the door weather and more, we've been monitoring the progress of this invasive eradication and trying to revegetate using native vegetation and having the blowouts, and that blowout right there had to be repaired a couple times. This one's gonna take though. And the rebar people and form people are likely back at work right now because today is now yesterday. You do out the door weather and more, and there's all the equipment that we've been watching. Giano excavation. It was like a bunch of Tonka trucks that we used to play with. They're all lined up next to the beach. Look at that yellow goldenrod. How many monarchs are in there? Is that a monarch on the Komatsu? Oh, and then what's that? Looks like that's going to be another stairway. Okay, so that looks like the stairway that's going to go up to the shelf, which is right there. Interesting. So it looks like there's going to be a big landing coming out right here. And I think that's how it was a long, long time ago. Is there anybody around here that remembers a long, long time ago? You guys are doing a great job. It's very impressive. Here's our swimmer. See our swimmer because he comes by every single day. Where's the gusset? Fun people here. They thought maybe we wanted some fuel. We do. Eventually, we'll be back. And we're gonna have tall ship links here in about 6 weeks or so. Get your tickets now. There's another angle on our swell. The town's swell. The swell and the sail. The brothers, the OPYC brothers. Jetstream to Black Seal. Do you read us, Black Seal? Come on. There's an intercept happening right now. Over.
Look at you two.
See the heron in the tree? Don't call me a snowy egret. Oh wait, I think it must be a snowy egret. Come on, right? It's just about 5 o'clock somewhere, like right here. And Boston's about 80. It's close to 90 in Lawrence. And the warm spot right now is Burlington, Vermont, 93. Manchester is 92. So it's day 1 of the heat wave. And we are in good shape right here. Nice little sea breeze cumulus developing. And the actual temperature, thermometer magically appears, is 85 degrees. How'd you do that? It's just a thing. It's just what they do. It's an OPYC thing.
And we got these 2 guys, right?
Yeah, and they came
And
back
Janet was married
without us.
Janet was married to Tim. And so Tim held on to Janet.
Oh well. All right. Thanks for the ride. That was really fun. Captain Kent, Jetstream. Here as the sun goes down at South Shore. The sun goes down the day after a full moon. That means it's low tide. Great day was had. Tried not to be in a hurry. Kind of worked out. Is that a great egret? A snowy egret? No, it's a heron. All right, let's go back and see Steve and T-Rex and call it a day here. Gorgeous. Yeah, Rex, let's watch the sunset. Where's Steve? Oh, he's right over here, of course. Thanks to his rock. You see any birds over there? Nope, we're out of bird food. Sorry. I'll get some more tomorrow. Nope, that's the end. That's the end of the video for today. Roses are still coming. I'm gonna have to water this stuff. It's not gonna rain for a while. Hopefully no hurricanes either. We want just moderate rain, no hurricane rain. Not in a hurry Sunday. And time lapse. There were some pretty fun cumulus clouds there for a short time. A little bit of smoke. Yeah, moderate smoke. Fun day on the water. Thank you, Doug. Not such a fun day on the roads. It's just amazing how many people leave Cape Cod at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. Not sure how that works. Were they all out there in Boston Harbor at the same time today? We'll get Mitt in here tomorrow with the cat. Mint and the bumblebees enjoying the buds. Back to work Monday. Busy, busy bees. Always working. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the comments. Tuesdays are good if you can get them. I think we might be on the water for our Tuesday.